Hi everyone, I wanted to do a quick tutorial about starting to draw. I know lots of people are really interested in doing wildlife and pet artwork, but it's quite hard to start from scratch, especially as we're not in sessions and we can't help you face to face. So yeah, these are a few tips and tricks that you can use. And I've got this lovely picture of Otto of Normandy on the laptop there. So all I've done is opened it up fairly big. So you have to decide on what size you're going to go with. I've got an A4 piece of paper, and computer screens are usually just a little bit bigger than an A4 piece of paper. So it's a good size really to work from. And you can see that if I hold that up to the screen, you can see the photo through it. So what we're going to do is trace. Okay, so hopefully you can still see that image there. I've turned the brightness up to full on the settings of the laptop. So what I'm going to do is just literally trace his outline. Using a fairly light pencil, so if I need to rub out, I can. Okay. If you're not sure what's going on in the image, just go over it like that, and then you can kind of flip it, have a look underneath. Some people might want to put a bit of tiny little bit of tape or blue tack to stop the paper moving. Some people might think this is cheating, but artists quite often use a light box just because it's quite hard to draw things perfectly to scale by eye. I'm just going to do his ear as well. Okay, so I'm just going to move that now. You can see there I've got, well, hopefully you can, because I've done it in a really light pencil. It's quite hard to see. Yeah, there you go. So you've got the basic outline of him. And now what I would do is look at the photo and compare the two. And yeah, just look at it and decide if there's anything that looks a bit wrong about it, or that you might want to improve. So I'm thinking his mouth looks a bit strange there. So then I'd look at the just look at the computer screen and just change it by eye. His eyes a bit more open as well. Oh, he's got quite a nice curve on the top of his nose that I'd never noticed before. So yeah, it's good for getting the main outline, but the real likeness comes from looking at the image and deciding, because I didn't notice that bit of a bump on his nose there when I was tracing it. So that's one way of doing it. Another way, let's get another piece of paper. Is to just marking out the certain areas of his body, so you can. So I'm not going all the way around, just going to the tip of his tail, back of his legs. So just roughly marking out where his proportions are. You can see that there now. It's kind of like join the dots. And this first way of doing it is the best way to get a photographic likeness, because you're tracing a photograph, I guess. The second way, I've got another piece of paper. I'm just going to stick it down a little bit this time. Tiny little bit of blue tack. So now what I'm going to do with a light pencil, sorry, I've just picked up a 6B, which is really dark. Anything with a high, a B number and then a high number, so a 6 or a 4, is really dark pencil. It's got a lot of charcoal in it. So you don't really want it when you're marking something out like this, in case you need to rub out. So I've got a HB here, which is much better for this kind of purpose. So now what I'm going to do is just mark out these rough dimensions. But I'm kind of doing a dot to dot, so I'm not joining up and I'm not tracing his whole outline. So I've got the tip of his tail, the back of his legs, the inner part of his legs, his chest a little bit, maybe just about where the eye is, but I'm not going to draw the eye in. You'll see why in a minute. So let me just take that off and I'll see if you're going to be able to see this even less than the last one, but you'll be able to see that I've done a kind of dot to dot effect. Now the purpose of this is so that I can do a more of a stylized picture of Otto, so that I suppose it's the idea of a stylized image is so you can do more of a cartoony effect, or you can capture more of the personality or the essence of the person or the animal. So what I'm going to do now is attempt to stylize this image. I help you at this stage. So I'm keeping the picture of Otto up, but now I'm thinking about how to stylize an image, and I suppose the thing is to make it more minimal, so you're not looking at all the details and you're not getting every tiny little line, but you're just trying to simplify the picture of Otto. So this is a simplified Dachshund. You can see they've hardly used any lines there. Look at the picture of Otto. Look at that one. So I'll kind of flick between the two and trying to think of how I can do the same with Otto. He's kind of a regal looking, so I want to capture that really. He hasn't got, some dogs have quite daft, silly faces. This dog, I think he looks quite proud is the word, and regal. So I'm going to try and attempt to capture that about Otto. I'll see how we go. Now, what I've done so far is just to get the outline of his body a bit more filled in. I don't want too many lines, so I'm going to rub that one out. I want it to be quite minimal. So I'm looking back at the photo again. I've left the face until last because, well, it's the most important part, isn't it? So I wanted to get the rest of the proud stance first, and I think maybe I've got it. Don't know. With these things, it's always good to have a break and then come and have a look at it after and see what you think with some fresh eyes. Another thing you could do is have a look in the mirror and see what it looks like, but I'm not going to do that yet. He's quite understated, isn't he? I don't want to do too much because he's got quite a reserved expression, I think. So now we come to the face. Okay. So that mouth. And the ear. So probably what I'll do at this stage is have a break, come back and have a look at it and see what I think. And then maybe I'll put a few more shadows into it, because there isn't any at the moment, and that's quite a few in that photograph, isn't there? Quite a lot of shadow. We'll see where we're at after that. Definitely needed a bit of shadow, I think, there. Tempting to try and make it photographic again, but I don't want to do that this time. Got a very shiny, sleek coat, hasn't he? Look at that. So I want to try and capture that as well. All this shiny fur here. Beautiful colour as well. So when you're trying to capture the character, I suppose it's how does he stand out from the other dogs? What makes him different? So I think it's his expression, his beautiful shiny coat, his regal stance. Yeah. I'm trying not to make it a photographic likeness, but it's quite difficult because I am looking at a photograph. But I really wanted to have a look at his shiny fur, you see, because that's part of his beauty. And that tail standing very proud. So this is what I've come up with so far. That was the basic outline. And then this one was when I kind of marked it out, and then I tried to stylize it a little bit. And this third one I just did freehand. So this third one I was looking at the one I'd done before, so I didn't actually look at the photograph anymore for this one. So you can see it's sort of starting to look a bit more cartoony. So I've ended up with 4 different images now. That's the one where I just traced the screen, basic, straightforward photographic copy, I suppose, but it's just mainly an outline. And then this is the one where I marked it out. So if you remember, I just marked out certain areas of his body so I could get the right dimensions. And then I started added some shading, but I think I was looking a bit too much at the photograph here, so it kind of looks a bit too photographic. I wanted to stylize it. So then the third one that I did, I just drew freehand, and I think it helped because doing the first 2 I'd kind of warmed up to it. It might seem a bit overkill to have ended up with 3 or 4 different pictures of the same dog, but I think it helps you warm up, and it helps you get a feel for the character. And then so this one I'm going to hopefully put some shading. I'll show you how I'm going to do it with the pen. But this is one that I did a few minutes ago because I've got some new pens, some fancy new pens. So this is two different ones, thicknesses. So you've got kind of a brush on this one, so you can get different thicknesses for the larger areas of shadow here and there, under his nose maybe. So that's what I use the brush end for, so you can see you can get different thicknesses. It's like a calligraphy pen, so depending on where you put the pressure. Lovely pen. Then the other end is a lot thinner. It's a little bit like a felt tip. See, that's a lot thinner. So I use that bit on his nose. And then, so there's two different thicknesses there. And this third one, I used a different pen. So this is thinner, even thinner still. There we go. So I did that to build up some of the fur. So I'm going to just do a little bit more to show you. Just around his tummy, I think. And under his rib cage. Maybe the back of his legs as well. Okay, so this picture I didn't really care about as much because it was the first drawing that I did, and if you notice his nose goes up at the end, and Otto's nose doesn't go up. He's got a little bit of a bridge there, a bit of a hook nose. That's ever so slight, but you can see it there, look. So it's good to use if you're practicing, use a picture that you don't really care about, and then yeah, then when you come to the real thing it won't matter because you've already had a practice. So I'm going to do the shading on this last one. I'm going to do it the other way around now, so I'm going to start with the thinnest lines first. Actually going to do a line all the way around first. But basically what I'm doing is trying to get some fur shadows in the fur around here, and do an outline all around his body, just to make the image bolder and so it shows up more on the page. I'm trying to work quite quickly here because I don't want the lines to look tentative. They just need to be quite bold. Okay, so that's the thinnest pen done. I think I might come back. I'm going to do the eyes last because I think they're the most important part, and the mouth. So I've left these two bits here because that's all about the expression on his face, isn't it? He's like a corner of his mouth there, and his eyebrow. So now I'm just going to switch to the thick pen. Just quickly look at this one that I did before, the one that I didn't really care about. Should say that I'm doing the a different direction with the pen to sort of exaggerate the direction of the weight of the body. I think that's the best way I can describe it. So his nose is that way, and his tummy's going round, so I need to make it look heavy there. Yeah. Switch pen thicknesses again, I think. Thinner one this time. Right, last bit, I'm going in for it. And the mouth and the eye. Okay, I think I'm done. So I'm probably going to stop there. I might look at it another time in the morning when I've had a break. But yeah, if you've got any images that you want some help with, just let us know, and it'll be lovely to see what you come up with. Okay, see you soon. Bye. Just wanted to add that if you haven't got access to a computer screen or laptop, you can still trace an image using a window. So I've put Otto of Normandy on the window, and I've put pictures of different animals in your packs, but everybody's got this one. So stuck it with blue tack and put some more blue tack there, and then I can see straight through it. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. It's a bit of a dull day, so obviously on a brighter day you'll be able to see even better. But you don't want to be having the sun directly behind you, because then you might get a little bit dazzled by it. So I'm just tracing around the outline. Here you go. I'm not going to do all of the shadows and tone, darker tones here. But you can do, obviously, you could just and if you're feeling brave, you could just go straight on with the pen. I've done it in pencil there just to show you. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. There you go. And if you wanted to do a picture of Otto facing the other way, then you just turn the picture around, and then you could have a repeating pattern. If you wanted to put it somewhere, maybe on material, or maybe make some wallpaper or whatever you wanted to do. So we've put some watercolor pencils in with this art pack. So have a go and see what you come up with. And I just wanted to show you as well, if you wanted to use the watercolours and you're using quite a bit of water, the photocopy paper will go a bit crinkled. So I've put some card in as well, and you can just about see through the card. You won't be able to see the detail, but you could mark out well, I can see it, but depends how good your eyes are. You could just mark out where you can see the edges and the general shape of him. So then you could move it down and just compare the two. And think, oh yeah, his eyes there, so. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing there. And this is on the card. So as I said, you'll be able to use watercolour on this. So yeah, I'd love to see what you've come up with. Take care and see you soon. Bye.